Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Bulls Latest. I want to thank Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. I've got a great show on tap for you guys today, a loaded show, lots of great stuff to get to. But again, want to give Underdog Fantasy a huge shout out for sponsoring this video. Let's dive right into it today, guys. I want to recap the Bulls' 128-126 victory over the Utah Jazz at the United Center. What a ball game. It was way too close for my liking. I wanted to kind of defeat this Jazz team handedly, although the line, it closed at 5.5, but initially it was the Bulls favored by 2.5, lived right up to that. The Jazz, who were in their first of a back-to-back, opted to hold out star Lauri Markkanen in this contest, which certainly helped the Bulls, especially down the stretch. We all know from his years in Chicago how dominant Lauri Markkanen can be. He's a guy who can change a game and flip it on its head. Looking at the Bulls side of things, Nikola Vucevic had a season-high 35 points in this one, including the game-winning layup with 4 seconds remaining. It was set up by a superb pass by Tre Jones on a play following the awesome offensive board by Isaac Okoro to start the entire thing. Just an awesome play all around by all three guys, setting up Chicago to ice the game late there. Ultimately, the Bulls had 7 guys in double figures, 36 assists total as a unit. Looking at Utah, my goodness, Bryce Sensabaugh, what a contest for him. He had a game-high 43 points for the Jazz in 34 minutes off the bench. The Ohio State product, unbelievable performance, one of the better games I've seen from anybody this year, let alone the Utah Jazz. So looking at him, he was definitely a monster in this one, hard to contain at all. Nikola Vucevic, though, would not be stopped. He played 31 minutes against the Jazz in this contest. Just after, in the second of this back-to-back, he played 37 minutes the night before this in Houston. So he continues to eat up huge minutes for the Chicago Bulls team in a time where, quite frankly, they need it. He's shown why he's a true warrior when it comes to leading this ball club. He'll do anything it takes to help this team win. That says a lot for a guy who's been thrown around in trade talks for months, really dating back to last year. Shows you what kind of heart this guy wears on his sleeve for the organization and the Chicago Bulls. So that is much appreciated. Nikola Vucevic did share a funny moment post-game. He joked in his post-game interview regarding the final shot, says he told himself, quote, "Don't smoke it," and he certainly did not smoke it. He ended up laying it in, ultimately leading to the game-winning shot. The Jazz were not able to do anything with 4 seconds remaining, so the Bulls sneak away with that victory, a much-needed victory after that hard-fought loss to the Houston Rockets. So kind of switching gears, guys, I want to give you an update on some of the key injuries for the Chicago Bulls team at the moment. Head coach Billy Donovan alluded to a few key updates regarding guys. Zach Collins, I'll start with. He will be in a walking boot for at least a couple more weeks. Likely not available before the All-Star break. So that's, hopefully we get him healthy and get him back because he's shown how critical he can be as a role player on this team. The one we're all kind of waiting for some news on, Josh Giddey. What's the deal with him there? He is beginning to ramp up, according to Billy. This is huge news. It's a big week for him, according to the head coach. Billy says he's progressed well. So that's awesome news when it comes to Josh Giddey here. And Julian Phillips, it was kind of interesting. He was held out of the contest against Utah. Not a clear update on him yet. Dalen Terry did eat up a lot of the minutes that Julian Phillips would normally get in a contest like this one against the Jazz. And Dalen Terry actually had a great contest. So if he's able to fill those shoes, Julian Phillips is a guy, I've been in his corner all year long, has not been able to get it going, unfortunately. Hopefully he can get back healthy. I'm not sure what the status is on him or what the update is. We'll have to wait and see and get an update from coach there. So anyway, I wanted to dive into the underdog segment today, guys. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, and steals, and more. Get your picks right and win up to 5,000 times your cash, guys. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at that Celtics Heat matchup. and selecting Bam Adebayo higher than 15.5 points, and Peyton Pritchard of the Boston Celtics lower than 16.5 points there. And those two stand out to me in terms of some good lines there. Download the app today and use promo code BasketballFan to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code BasketballFan. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus to enter there. See terms and conditions. Also, wanted to take a look at with you guys a guy that I continue to be high on in terms of what he provides in many of these lineups, and that's Modest Buzelis. I mean, this guy continues to be a monster. I just think that when you look at this player, look at his previous games, he's been a consistent machine. Now, I know it was an interesting performance against Utah. He finished with 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists there. I just don't know what went wrong in this one. He got the quick hook in this contest by Billy Donovan. Modest did not play much. He didn't play in the fourth quarter at all, and he only played 19 minutes total for the game. So that snaps a streak of 15-point games for him, and that's 7 in a row. That streak of 7 straight 15-point games is snapped there. So hopefully we're going to get Modest back on track here. He's a guy who, if you guys have been riding him in terms of his performances with Underdog Fantasy, you guys have done very well. He's a player who's really coming into his own, and I continue to stress the fact that he will be a focal point of this team. Moving forward. I just think that he is going to put up big numbers, assuming he's not injured. We'll have to double check on that to see what the status is of him. But you look at the last 5 games for Modest, he's been the model of consistency. So look for that to continue with him there. It's a guy I'm really high on, and Bulls fans alike are super high on him, continuing to develop here. So let's continue to, ride his performances into some Underdog Fantasy success there, guys. I think he will continue to pad the stat sheet most definitely moving forward. Looking at the betting recap on the Bulls-Jazz game, the Bulls win, but they don't cover. And I mean, a lot of you guys probably got a line that was much different than what the line was initially Bulls -2.5. It closed at -5.5. So the Bulls squandering that late 6-point lead. A lot of you guys probably did not cover that initial line. The Bulls couldn't even cover that 2.5. They won by 2, so lose by the hook on that line. But they do cash the money line at -142. That was my strongest play for you guys. I really did not see a way, although it came really, really close and took a last-ditch effort by Nikola Vucevic to win this ball game. The Bulls were in constant control for most of it against Utah. Utah made a late push in this one, and that also allowed them to cover that number. The total breezed over 243.5. This was never a sweat in this contest. There's just two teams that were on the bottom tier in terms of defensive efficiency. The writing was on the wall with this total, guys. When you get matchups like this, and I'll continue to alert you guys of situations like this for more casual bettors or casual basketball fans, but there are lines to exploit when you get matchups like this. So that total being one of them. So Bulls get the narrow win. Good way to kind of bounce back for them. I kind of wanted to wrap up, guys, the part of the show here today. Coby White, there was a compensation update for him, and multiple reports have come across stating in terms of what the Bulls could be looking for in return for Coby White there. According to multiple reports within the NBA, the Bulls would be wanting an unprotected first-round pick in return for Coby White. This comes as no surprise to me. He is the most valuable chip in this organization at the moment outside of Modest Buzelis. The Bulls have treated him as such, and they will continue to treat him as such when they're taking and fielding calls on Coby White. Unprotected first, I think that's a very well warranted for a guy who's really come into his own. Granted, he's had the injury troubles this year, but I love it. Get aggressive if you're the Chicago Bulls. if you really want to make a move for a guy like Kobe White, you got to pay, and you're going to pay us an unprotected first round pick for a guy like that. And so the Bulls could flip that into another generational type player, hopefully. And we'll see what happens. Obviously, trade deadline coming fast, February 5th. It's getting real close, guys. I mean, we're going to have lots of talks going on with this roster entirely. I mean, there's a lot of guys, including Nikola Vucevic and Ayo Dosunmu and guys like that, who are going to be up in the air in terms of their futures here in Chicago. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about Kobe White. Do you think an unprotected first is enough? Do you want more? Do you want another player in return? What are we thinking? And keep it realistic. I know a lot of Bulls fans are going to go crazy in terms of, I want this, I want that, or just trade him for nothing. I wouldn't trade him for nothing. I get it. It's been frustrating in terms of the year he's had, not being able to stay on the floor. But it's a guy that if you're going to deal him, it's critical. You need to get the necessary compensation in return to keep your franchise afloat moving forward, and pushing in the right direction, which the Bulls have had a hard time kind of doing in terms of dishing away talent. They haven't necessarily used their assets to the best of their ability. So overall, I want to thank you guys again for joining me on another episode of Bulls Latest, and thank you to Underdog Fantasy once again for sponsoring this video. Go Bulls. We will see you guys next time.